Hey Life Group leaders, Tim Osmus here. This is your Life Group update for 6/23/2019. Hope you had a great week. I hope you're recovering from Bible school. Maybe you've taken some extra nerve pills or some extra coffee or maybe some intravenous fluids. I don't know, but I will say that it was very good for me to see how well behaved the children were and what a great job all of our teachers and leaders did during the week. It was a great week of Bible school. We had several moves on Thursday night during the evangelistic service. Thank you to Corbin for doing a wonderful job of presenting the gospel, and that we'll be following up on those during the coming weeks, I'm sure. Okay, here's what we have for this week. 252 in attendance last week in Life Group, 238 at Highway 76 and 14 at Fort Oglethorpe. Hospital meal ministry for this coming week is Women of Faith, so please take care of that if you would, please. Teachers, if you would, please remember what we talked about last week. Make sure that you get out in time to do a couple of different things. Number one, make sure that our people can get into the service on time. And number two, it is a great time for you and your team members to reach out into the sanctuary where those visitors are coming in and introduce yourself. Maybe invite them to your life group, give them a Sunday school book, literature to make sure that they can come and visit your class. The text to giving is now in full swing, and just remember that number for that will always be in the bottom corner of the bulletin every week. That's Peggy and I've started using that now, and so that's a very easy way, a very efficient way to give. So please remember that. Deadline for youth camp is June the 30th, which is this coming Sunday, and all the accounts must be paid in full no later than July the 14th. Now, we are entering into the holiday schedule for the July 4th, and so you'll need to remember these things. There is no PM service on Sunday, June the 30th. There is also no Wednesday night activities on 7/3. Regular schedule will begin again next Sunday on July the 7th. Now, when we're talking about July the 7th, that is a very special day. That's going to be Freedom Sunday, and Major Jeff Stroker, who is a hero of the Black Hawk Down situation that happened several years ago, will be with us. This is a great thing for us to have him. Let's publicize that. There are invites out there on Facebook. You can share those to your page, and you please make sure that you publicize this, and let's have a good crowd for Freedom Sunday next week. It's very special to be able to have the Major with us. Hope for the Hungry is on July the 3rd, so help us get the word out on Facebook, and if you can help with that, please let BJ Phillips know that because they're always needing help with that Hope for the Hungry. Now, we're going to be studying in Life Group this week about giving. And I think we need to circle back on giving every once in a while, and we're going to be studying about the widow's mite, and we're also going to be studying about a situation where Jesus was asked to kind of mediate in a family situation where the inheritance wasn't being divvied up the way somebody thought it ought to be, and so there's some very good points in that. But one of the things that I want you to notice is that there's some facts about Christian giving that's in your literature. And I think these are things that you can use. And I'm just going to point out a couple of them that I think I'm going to use in my class this week. Tithers make up 10 to 25% of any congregation. So at the very worst, if you've got 10 people in your class on Sunday, one of those is a tither. At the best, statistically, you'll have about 4 out of those 10 who are tithers. So the majority of the people in our churches are not tithers. And so we need to do what we can to encourage people, because tithing we still believe that's the biblical concept. And so let's talk about that. Here's another one that I looked at. On average, Christians give about 2.5%. So 10% is what the Bible tells us to do, but people choose to do about 2.5%. And then there's also some things there about how baby boomers are the major givers. Generation X, Generation Y, they're not coming up to giving the way that the baby boomers are giving. And that's part of that is to be understandable, because a lot of times baby boomers, they have their families raised and they're not under as much financial pressure. But I have found also that if you don't give during those times, you don't give eventually. So let's make some good effort to talk about this week. We always need to be sure that we are giving, because I think you'll see that that the point of this week's lesson is that how we give is an indicator of where we place our faith in Christ, where that place is in our life. And so I think it's going to be very important to talk about this Christian giving. This week we do that every now and again. We don't focus on giving every week, but every once in a while we do need to talk about it, because it is a biblical concept and it is a great indicator of where our faith is. So you take that great opportunity to do that this week. I appreciate everything that y'all do as leaders in Life Group, and I'll see you on Sunday morning at 8:30.